In this video, we are asking a simple question. Pierre Poilievre ripping off taxpayers. We are going to look into this ongoing ambition of one man to remain in public life. We all understand that there is a by-election coming up on the 18th of August in Battle River, Crawford. The cost to the taxpayer is $2 million. We all know that Canada right now, we have pressing issues. The issues of cost of living. I've done a video on the cost of food. We have health care. A lot of people do not have family doctors, and also we have housing availability and affordability. Houses are not available and they are not affordable. But we are going to finance one man's bid to remain in public life at the tune of $2 million. Pierre Poilievre is housing at the expense of the taxpayer. He lost his seat and he's not a member of parliament. He has expressed his desire to remain the leader of the opposition, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, and he is still occupying the official residence of the opposition. For those who are watching outside Canada, in Canada, the leader of the official opposition, he or she is housed at the expense of the taxpayer. The government provides the accommodation and provides all the necessary facilities execute his job. Pierre lost in an election to a Liberal candidate. He approached one of the MPs who had been elected in a riding. For those who are watching outside Canada, in Canada we call our constituencies riding. When I came to this country, I called one of the TV stations. I was told that it's old English. That's the information I still have. Pierre lost and he approached one of his party members and won by 82% in Battle River, Crawford, in Alberta, which is predominantly conservative riding. The gentleman agreed to step down. Pierre approached the government, asked for the by-election. There is the convention in the House of Commons that the governing party, in the spirit of the fair play, concede to that by-election, allowing the opposition to fulfill their duty on the behalf of Canadians. We value our democracy. For the government to function properly, they have to be opposition. The official opposition leader is housed at the expense of the taxpayer. Section 57 of the Canadian Election Act states that the chief electoral officer has 180 days to issue a writ for the by-election after receiving such a notice from the Speaker. The election itself must be held within 36 to 50 days after the writ has been issued. He can go up to 179 days and issue a writ. The election can now be held about, say, 49 days. So in total, you can have 179 days to issue a writ, and we have another 49 days for the election. Let's add these two. In total, this by-election could have been held in 228 days, but it was expedited to just August the 18th. Let's reiterate here. In the section 57 of the Canadian Election Act, states that the chief electoral officer has 180 days. A notice from the Speaker. And the election itself can be held within 36 to 50 days after the writ has been received. Given this scenario that we could have up to 228 days, the government itself had up to February 2026 to call a by-election. This election is costing Canadians $2 million. This man faces a review. Let's look at a scenario. This man goes on to win the by-election. He wins the by-election on August the 18th of 2025. But the House is sitting for only 41 days before this man faces a review, which say he wins, right, and he comes back to Parliament and continues with his attack dog politics. His style of this man, Pierre Poilievre, politics is known within the journalistic cycles. It's the way he asks his questions and his lack of civility and his aggressiveness in questioning the government. This man comes back this fall and continues with his attack dog politics. However, this man, there is a review scheduled for January the 29th and the 31st of January. There is a leadership review which Pierre faces. Now, we are looking at a scenario that now he wins the by-election, but loses the review. His own party boots him out. This Pierre Poilievre is kicked out. This scenario which we are going to explore. Canada is spending $2 million to rush this man to the question period. The government of Canada has spent this amount, which could have been used to build some affordable housing to house the poor. Acting Pierre, we rush him to national stage, question period in parliament, continues his attack to politics. His party now says, buddy, you squandered 25 points lead. Justin Trudeau had made blunders upon blunders, had made mistakes upon mistakes. Not even his own party wanted him, but you went in and lost an election to a neophyte, to a greenhorn, to a newbie in politics, to a novice, Mr. Carney. Mr. Carney was not in politics though. He was a banker. He was an executive at Goldman Sachs and came to be the governor of the Central Bank in Canada. At the end of his term, he went to be governor of the Bank of England and came back home, and he was just sitting on various bodies of different companies. He was not in the Liberal caucus, and this man lost that man. Now we are saying, should he loses and is booted out? We are asking a question here again. Should Mr. Carney have not put stewardship over electoral sportsmanship? What I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, within the legal framework of the government, Mr. Carney would have waited until Pierre Poilievre makes it through the leadership review before calling an election, before wasting $2 million. Because the scenario which we are facing is that when this guy here, Pierre Poilievre, who is so eager to return to public life, he gets elected in the by-election, which is more of a foregone conclusion that he's going to be elected. But he gets booted out by his own party. Now, if he gets booted out by his own party, the man decides now to resign on his own. I'm giving up politics. I've tried, I've done my best. I moved the party forward. We gained new seats. Like I can even write a speech which he is going to give. I can write the speech here and it will be somewhat different, but the facts are going to be the same. The speech which he's going to give at his resignation. Things like I moved the party forward, we gained more seats, we gained more popular vote. There are 8 million people who voted for me, blah, blah, blah. I can write that speech on my own table and compare to the speech, although it's not going to be word for word, but the facts are going to be exactly the same. I know what he's going to say on his resignation if he's going to resign. Assuming that he gets putted out, says, nah, I'm resigning from politics, I'm stepping down from politics, I'm giving up politics. I won't continue to be the MP for Battle River Crawford. And the government now shows out another 2, if not more, million to run another by-election. We have now a situation of double or nothing. This is why we are asking, should Mr. Carney have put up stewardship over electoral sportsmanship? Do voters of Battle River Crawford even want this former leader, this career politician? I understand the man has never worked with a job in his life. Pierre Poilievre, I tried to read biography. They said he's a university dropout of University of Calgary. He entered University of Calgary studying international relations. He dropped out, and he says he dropped out to pursue politics. We don't know how true that is. After he dropped out, of course, he was now a member of parliament, and then he claims that he went on to complete his studies through an online university called Arthur Basker University, and completed a BA degree in 2008. He entered politics around 2004, but he has never worked a single job in his life except sitting in parliament and voting no to all social services, extension of social services, and writing his absurd petitions to the Queen of England, trying to have then the Governor General removed, and the Queen refused that she does not interfere in Canadian politics. is trailing our Prime Minister by 30 points. That means Poilievre might win the by-election on August 18 and lose the leadership review, and then retires from politics and triggering another by-election. An early by-election does not serve the interests of Canadians who are paying for it. Conservatives needed to confirm their leader first before a by-election. Mr. Carney, our smart Prime Minister, should have waited until the February of 2026 to hold a by-election, that we let the Conservative Party of Canada confirm their leader first, because there is a leadership review which is coming up on January the 29th to the 31st of 2026. By then, the House would have set only for 41 days. Legally, we could have waited up to February 2026 and then call a by-election after that, after the leadership review of 29th to the 31st, rather than rush to waste $2 million of taxpayers' money. Pierre might lose the leadership review. He retires from politics and trigger another by-election. This is why we are saying Pierre Poilievre is a repeat taxpayer. The voters of Battle River Croft being used as pawns in this political blanksmanship to serve the interests of this guy here, Pierre Poilievre. For Pierre, is a numbers game. His vote percentage in by-election and polling beginning of the year ahead of the review will determine his future. Right now, he trails the Prime Minister by 30 points in the polling, and he is projected to win the by-election. But the incumbent won by 82%. The current MP who stepped down, Damien Kurek. But the political pundits are saying he is not going to win by 82, but not anywhere near this. They are projecting him to win in the neighborhood of above 50% to about somewhere in the neighborhood of 60. So he wins. A win is a win. In a basketball game, if you win by a point or a win by 20 points, a win is a win. He goes back. We rush him to the question period. We are saying, like now, at the time when he's facing the leadership review, if they find that he's polling dismally, then they kick him out. Conservatives won 144 seats in the House of Commons, have 41.3% of the population. Over the past 2 years, public opinion polls say that it will be a slide. In this previous election, which we had on the 28th of April, this man has been at the helm of the Conservative Party for the last 3 years. In the last 2 years, opinion polls were saying that it is going to be a landslide. However, he takes that he moved the seats forward by one as an achievement, but he previously projected to have a landslide. His absence is not gone unnoticed. As I said, like we are talking about Pierre Poilievre and his attack dog politics. Right now, the House have sat without him. There have been an interim leader, Andrew Scheer, been leading the Conservative Party of Canada. However, we are saying that Pierre Poilievre's absence in the House has not gone unnoticed. In the House of it has been quieter, more cooperative. When he comes back, people are expecting a little bit of civility from him. He has to moderate his style and become calmer and become more seasonal. He is also known for misbehaving a little bit. At one time, he was kicked out of the Commons by the Speaker. In closing, Poilievre, the Conservatives should look outside their caucus for a more credible candidate to replace Pierre Poilievre, an emotionally mature individual, a serious questioner, and just what the Liberals did with Mark Carney, who came out from the corporate Canada to lead what begins with arrogance, end up in shame. We thank you, Pierre Poilievre, for your service to Canada. Thank you very much. We ask you to subscribe.